together as blacks. We don't come together as Asians. We don't come together as Hispanics, as Adelita has represented. Nor do we come together as freshman members or as more senior members. We come together around the idea that all human beings deserve basic dignity, and the policy of our nation should reflect that. Your constituents, they don't always expect you to be successful, but they always expect you to be faithful. You know what I mean by that? Fight, and maybe you win them, and maybe you lose some, but don't just drop everything you believe in. And I also heard a guy named Van Jones say, we don't just want to win the election. We do want to win the election, but we also win the argument. We also want to win the argument that every American ought to be able to go to the doctor, that it's a national disgrace to have 50 million people without health care, that we should have Medicare for all, and that with this a tremendous step forward is a step forward and not the end game. You understand what I'm saying? And that, you know what, we ought to have true immigration reform. And to make sure that family reunification is a primary value. I just want to say that we want to do three things with the Progressive Caucus in Congress. First, we want to build greater cohesion. Oh yeah, good. Greater cohesion amongst members of the Progressive Caucus so that we're working together more, and we have done it. The second thing we want to do is we wanted to bridge to the progressive community. Here's a fact. Members of the progressive community cannot introduce and vote on legislation. Members of the Progressive Caucus cannot mobilize the masses of Americans around a progressive agenda. In order for there to be a true progressive movement, we've got to marry these two together so that we can move this whole wave thing forward. So that you can fight. Because if you are out in the progressive movement, fighting for a progressive America, but there's nobody really to fight for and introduce legislation that you believe in, what happens to you? You get cynical and pissed off. Am I right or wrong? Amen. And if there's progressives in Congress who are fighting the tough battle, but we don't have any support outside, then what happens is we lose, and then we're frustrated. And so what if we got together? What about that? So we've been working hard on that, and we want to talk to you more about that. The third thing we want to do is be relevant electorally. Relevant electorally. That means we are backing our own candidates. Now we have, for the first time, we put money and energy behind candidates. For the first time we did this with the help of the work that Chad's doing, and we did it because of donations from folks like you. So look, I'm not shy, so to be honest. If you can write today, write. But we're not here to shake you down, but I'm just being honest. Is honesty allowed in this room? All right, good, thank you. Because that's what leadership actually is. Do you understand what I mean? Do you understand what I mean? Yes. And so we need you guys. One of the things we're going to do when we sort of close this meeting down, we're going to meet over here in this corner for people who want to volunteer for our origination committee and just say, well, I'm willing to do some work. Right? Because you know what? Let me tell you about progressives. The people who pound and sign when it's cold or hot, when everybody else has gone home, when all the pizza ran out, that's you guys. Right. The progressive community made Barack Obama the president. That's right. And I'm telling you that you will make the difference again. The progressives are in a tough spot because the progressives, on the one hand, you got, okay, you guys said honesty is allowed in this room, right? Yeah. You got, on the side, you got the corporate Dems. Yes. And they're Dems, so we love them. They're our people. And on the other side, you got the cynics who say nothing works, government doesn't. I'm talking about the left-wing cynics who say nothing works, nothing's going to work. You're a chump for believing that America can be better. The big corporate bosses are always going to screw you to the wall and you're never going to be able to get anything done. We're neither one of those. We believe in the progressive vision and we believe in the progressive possibility. Am I right about that? Yeah. Everything sucks and nothing ever changes. We know that Barack Obama is so enormously better than that other character that it's not even a discussion. about whether we're going to break our backs to make sure he's the president again. But we also know that in order to have a great country and to make a great president, of potential into a really great president, then you gotta set out a star to be reached for. Because if you ever try to negotiate, you ever try to buy a car? If you go into the negotiation and say, I'm not going to put down a number that I want, I'm going to put out a number that I think they're going to give me, then they're going to move their number over here until they make you compromise way, way worse than you planned on. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes a win for the progressives is making sure whatever the compromise is, it's better than if we just cave to the other side from the beginning. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Sometimes that's a win. And so we've got to be the people who put the spine in the body of the Democratic Party. Yeah. You know right? And if we're not organized, it won't work. If we're not organized, it won't work. Then, you know, we got to be the ones who say, you know what? When that tragedy happened at the Sikh temple, we're not afraid to stand up for our brothers and sisters of all faiths. We got to be the ones who say we believe in a woman's right to choose. Right. We got to be the ones to say, you know, we're against the next war. Whatever what they're planning, that's what I want to do. We believe in peace and diplomacy. That's who we are. That's what we're fighting for.